Hello students, welcome to the My Dream, India's first ever e-learning platform. Here we discuss each and every topic in terms of what that topic is, and then we understand why we study the topic, and lastly we come to how that topic is studied. So today I am going to discuss the topic capacitance. First of all, capacitance, what it is. I talk in terms of what. So capacitance, as its name suggests, it is talking about capacity of something. For example, I have a container of water, then it has certain capacity in terms of its volume. Then it has some height also, amount of water and height. There is some base area also. Now this is its capacity, which is called volume, and the content which is coming is some liquid. There are terms concerned with it. The thing which is to be poured is liquid, and the extent which determines is volume, and the closing factor is H, and there is base area. I can do here another thing, that I can make a broader vessel having the same height, but area this time is greater than this. Area is greater than this. Height is same, and this time the volume is increased. Quite simple thing. Actually, what we are doing here, we are studying the capacity to hold the liquid, and we are doing multiple arrangements for that. In a similar way, the capacitance, or I should better say electrical capacitance, I use a word better, electrical capacitance or charge capacitance, better saying. Suppose you have a conductor of any shape. You have a conductor, you give some charge. Now I am comparing it with the container. You give some liquid to it. You give some charge to it. As you give charge, its potential rises. And as you pour the liquid, its height rises. Now here container has its dimensions fixed. This conductor has its dimensions fixed. Here the container has its dimension fixed, area and height. Now you are pouring some liquid. When it will reach to its maximum height, no more liquid you can pour it down. In the same way, you are adding some charge over it, then there is a certain limit, certain limiting criteria which won't let the charge come additional, and that is what it is, potential. Say V. So very simple definition of relation between these two, that charge is proportionate to V. Here the liquid is proportionate to height. Well, now we are not going to discuss in details about this here. I am talking about charge. As you give more charge, its potential rises, and any conductor can hold a certain level of potential. Beyond that it cannot, because after that potential the charge will leak away to the outside atmosphere, right? So here we have a proportionality relation, and then proportionality is made equality by using a constant C. This C is Q upon V. Now this C is called simply capacitance. Very simple definition of capacitance is, you give some amount of charge to a conductor, okay, its potential rises, charge is proportionate to its potential, there is proportionality relation, the proportionality constant is C. Now I just give you a very simple example so that you can understand exactly what capacity is. I take a specific kind of conductor, I call it spherical capacitor. There is a sphere of radius r. You give some charge q to it, then it will have some potential q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. And I have q is equal to cv. I said that very clear that v q proportionate to v. I write here q equals to 4 pi epsilon naught r into v. Of course q is proportionate to v, but as I told that c is a constant, then here if I compare these two equations, then I get c is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught r. Now this is its capacity, depending upon its dimension, depending upon the permeability of the medium. This is the simplest possible capacitor, depending upon potential and charge. Finally, when we get the formula, then there is no potential, no charge, only dimension and the permeability of the vacuum. Now I move further. I do one more thing. I take a sphere, around it another sphere, two concentric spheres, right? I give some charge q to this inner sphere, and on the inner surface of the outer sphere there will be negatively charged induced, and outer surface there will be positive charge induced, but I earth it. Now earthing, I hope you know, I have defined the potential of the outer sphere, that is what potential equals to 0. Now why I am doing this, I will explain it. Now come step by step. Now our concern is, from this point to this point A to this point B, I want to find VA minus VB is equal to V. First of all, I'll determine the potential difference between these 2 points. Then I'll relate Q equals to CV. So to find the potential difference, what I do, here I assume a Gaussian surface of radius small r. Then according to Gauss law, E dot ds over this closed surface q by epsilon naught. Charge enclosed is what? Plus q by epsilon naught. At each point E will be kq by r square, r cap and ds vector q by epsilon naught. At each point, if I take the line integral of it, then it is kq by r square r dot ds is equal to q by epsilon naught, right? Or I simply say, in better words, I'll write this is E dot ds, or I don't consider this, I take E is equal to minus of dv by dr r cap. Better saying, dv equals to minus of E dot dr. Better to calculate E first. I am concerned to find the potential difference. Then dv is equal to, at each point E is here and dr is here, I have minus of E dr cos theta. dv equals to minus of q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square dr. Now I integrate this equation from VA to VB, from A to B. Now what I have here, I integrate, I get VB minus VA is equal to integration of minus of q upon 4 pi epsilon naught dr by r square integration and this integration goes from A to B. VB minus VA is equal to minus q by 4 pi epsilon naught minus 1 by r A to B. Say VB, the potential of the outer sphere, is 0 and VA is V. Then I have 0 minus V, and here I will have q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon B minus 1 upon A. Or I can write V is equal to q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by A minus 1 by B. Now I simplify it. I have V is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught AB. It is B minus A. This is the potential. Now C is what? Q by V. Then I have 4 pi epsilon naught AB upon B minus A. And definitely this time, if I take the capacitance of this two concentric spheres, then this capacitance is more than the capacitance of a single sphere. For example, if I take R is equal to A, then capacitance is 4 pi epsilon naught A. And now here I take R1 is equal to A and R2 is equal to B is equal to say 2A. Then capacitance C dash equals to 4 pi epsilon naught AB A 2A 2A minus A, and it becomes 4 pi epsilon naught 2A greater than this, right? So these two conductors, when I place, the capacitance is increased. Why and how we will discuss later, but keeping these two conductors one close to another increases the capacitance. Here is the formula. Here I say a punchline here, if two conductors are, I place a note here. if two conductors are there, then capacitance is generally increased. The same formula can be reduced, to a single sphere. How? Look, if I take B tends to infinity and A tends to R, or A equals to R, then C becomes 4 pi epsilon naught R B upon B minus A. I take from here 4 pi epsilon naught R B, taking B out, 1 minus A by B. B cancelled. A upon B. Now B tends to infinity, so this tends to 0, and I have the same formula, 4 pi epsilon naught R. So it is not different from that one. It's the very simple definition, very simple observation of capacitance. A sphere, then a concentric sphere, and so on, in this way. Now, why we keep two conductors, that I'll explain by simple example. I'm not going to parallel plate capacitor, I'm just explaining it. Parallel plate capacitor we'll discuss later. I'm just giving you an example. Suppose I have a plate like this, and I'll show it by this way, right? This has some charge plus Q. Then it will have some positive potential. Then if some charge is Q given to it, then definitely Q is proportionate to V. Now, as much as charge you give, the potential will increase, and potential is a limiting factor to store the charge. Now, what I do, if I place a neutral plate here, then there will be negative charge induced and positive charge on back end. If I earth this back end, then this whole positive charge will go to earth. But this negative charge is bounded charge, I say. This is bounded charge. So it won't go into the earth. But this negative charge will create a negative potential. Due to that, at this point, the potential will decrease. So, why we take two conductors? Taking second conductor in consideration, the potential of the first conductor gets decreased. This is very miraculous thing. We are just placing it and earthing other side. This will decrease the potential of the first conductor, and potential is the decisive factor which decreases or increases the capacitance. So, keeping two in general, the two conductors together makes a limitation on the say potential, and hence the capacitance is increased. That's it. So I have told you what the capacitance is. Now this is how I told is how we studied. Now the question is why we study it. Because in lots of appliances, in electronics, in electrical, there is need of charge storage. In the fan, actually, you many times you listen that the condenser is not working. That condenser is actually capacitor. In the whole electronics and electrical, Without capacitor, the storage of charge, we cannot imagine about it. So storage of charge is important there. So storage of charge can be done on capacitor. So what capacitor is, I explained, is a charge storage device. Why we studied? Because whole electrical and electronics cannot be assumed without it. And how we study that, I have just you give a glimpses, and then we can study them in details.